Larsen, you may start.
Okay. Hi, hello, and welcome to 275th meeting of Inspiron Toastmasters Club. And I welcome each and everyone to this meeting. I, Larsen Montero, the SAA of today's meeting, declare the meeting open. And before starting the meeting, I want to remind you all about the ground rules that we follow at our Toastmasters meeting. First, we ensure your devices are on silent. Do not keep your videos do not keep your audios on when you're not speaking, and also when you're supposed to move away from your places, kindly keep your videos off. Secondly, we appreciate each and everyone either by emojis or heart symbol. Please do use of make use of it. And also we encourage we also avoid controversial topics, but it is the club that will decide over it. With that, the club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal. With this, I call our president, Toastmaster Royal, for his presidential address and welcome the gathering. Over to Toastmaster Royal.
Leaders don't force people to follow, they invite them on a journey. And today, in this journey of Toastmasters, someone has achieved something special. Today, I would like to announce our Inspiron's first distinguished Toastmaster, that is DTM Amith Ananda. A huge round of applause to our distinguished, our very own division director, DTM Amith Ananda.
It's difficult to say that, right? All these years you
swear, right? in some Toastmasters, we see some unique quality in them, a quality which cannot be quantified. And in our subconscious level, we Toastmasters, we think this person is different, this person is special, and this person might be a DTM. And I have seen numerous times Amith Ananda getting addressed as DTM, even though technically he was not a DTM. And I feel that itself is a big compliment where people recognize the leadership quality in him. And I have seen Amith Ananda and the older Toastmasters of Inspiron Club, that is Ashrita, Zina, Jacob, who are present over here, who has pushed the club through the difficult times, and because of which the new members are able to join, learn, and discover new things about themselves through this club. For us, as a Toastmaster, a Toastmasters club is an endless opportunities. It's very easy to leave a club when it's not at its best. It's very easy to complain, but it takes something very special to understand the vision of Ralph C. Smedley and push the club and make sure the club survives through the storm. I don't know till when I will be continuing Toastmasters. I don't know which city I will be in a couple of years, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But there is one thing I know what will happen. That is the efforts put by Amith and other senior Toastmasters and each and every one of you in the meeting. They will inspire someone, and a new person who will be joining after 10 years in this club will be benefited because of the efforts put by each and every one of us. So I would like to thank Amith for inspiring us. And at this iconic moment, I would like to say that the only safe ship in a storm is a leadership. I thank Amith for inspiring us, pushing the club through the storm, And I'm honored to say once again, and I would like to request each and every one of you to stand and give him a standing ovation to our very own DTM Amith Ananda. Amit, a few words from your side.
Well, I'm going to take the session out after this, right, as a TMOD. So
It's okay. We never get bored listening to you, Amit.
no, don't say that. Okay. Thank you so much, Royal, President of Inspiron Toastmasters Club. Indeed, it's heartwarming that you guys have appreciated the work. And I know that the entire District 92 and District 121 has seen this club, the way it has gone, and seen the tides and how the club has survived all these years. And I appreciate all the past members of the club to help us survive all these years. And if you look now, it has definitely come out in flying colors. So thank you very much, Royal. Let us continue the club into a much higher level than what is it's in now. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, DTM Amith Ananda. So now there's another budding leader in this club who works in the background, the soul of every meeting. While the discussions were going on that I will have to lead the club as a president, I had to select my team. And there was this new guy who just joined Toastmasters. And I had seen him in a couple of meetings and I was like, okay, fine. I speak to him about being a VP head of this club. Yes, of course, there were some concerns about this great gamble which I was about to play. A person who just joined 4 months into Toastmasters, giving him a responsible position of a VP education is not a game. But that's what leadership is all about, right? Being a leader, we take the risk of trusting first. And I trusted this guy. More than me, the club trusted this person. And he never failed in any of his responsibilities. You all won't believe, he was going through a huge career transition in his life a couple of months back. And a game-changing career shift. And I know how emotional and challenging it would be. And he could have said, Royal, you know what? I need break for 2 months. And actually, I was expecting him to say this. But to my surprise, he didn't. He was super active, even though he was going through a storm. And sometimes he calls me and says, Royal, what these members are not responding to my messages. I'm asking for a speaker. I'm asking for a timer. Oh, Royal, this speaker backed out. What should I do? Right? He has faced all the challenges, but still, he never gave up. And he's our very own Toastmaster Larson Montero. I would request Larson to turn on his video. Okay, I think he's yes. Thank you so much, Larson, for your relentless efforts and making sure everyone gets the opportunities and we get to meet wonderful people from different clubs. Like we have today Kavita, we have Disha, our very own Sarah Monis. Then we have
Hariraj.
Yes, Hariraj. Thank you so much, Larson, for giving us opportunities to have these wonderful people in our meeting. So now moving forward, you know what's the most unfortunate thing a person can go through or a person does to himself or herself? Anything? Anyone would like to take a guess? Okay.
Give up.
Yeah. Zina, you said something.
Give up, I said.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes, somewhat in that terms, that is not performing up to their potential. And in this club and in this region of Toastmasters, our District 121, there's a tremendous potential. And we have wonderful speakers in this club as well. But they are not up to their potential. So how can we bring them to their potential? So we have a crash course, that is the contest season. The reason why I was able to be, why I am very confident to speak over here, because I had a dream back in 2020, that is to be a division champion. And I was a pretty average speaker. But because of this contest season, 3 months of hard efforts, and that it gave me exponential growth. So I would like to announce that on 26th February, we are having this crash course, or we can say it's a contest. So make the best use of it. See, winning or losing, it's a game, right? It's not an important aspect. But taking part in a contest is a very, very important aspect. Especially, we have 3 contests now. That is the international speech contest, evaluation, and table topics. So I would encourage my members, do take part, and you will have to take part in the international speech contest at least. There's no option, because for me, being a speaker, it's never about ourselves. It's a responsibility. And each and every one of you, you have that burning story within you, which will impact the life of an audience. So it's your responsibility. It's not about yourself. It's your responsibility. Do take part in the contest. So having said that, I would like to hand over the proceedings to our very own leader, whose favorite quotation is, a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And a person who can bat, who can score in any pitch, that is our very own Division Director, DTM Amith Ananda. Over to you.
Thank you so much, President Royal D'Souza. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to see 3 well-known district officers here sitting today. And I'm so happy to have my own colleagues, and I would like them to share a few thoughts of them about coming here online to Mangalore. I think let me ask Kavita first.
Sorry, Amit, can you repeat the question?
I just, just few words on your thought of coming online to Mangalore.
Okay, I actually get nostalgic. I usually take the sleeper bus and travel overnight to Mangalore, and that's what I can recollect coming to Mangalore. And of course, I have been to Mangalore for the officers training once, because I had to get that 1 point on my DCP chart. Only 3 people had attended from my officers team, and I was the president. So I traveled all the way to Mangalore just to make it. And that's what I recollect now. It was in Sahyadri.
Yes, I've seen, and we've spoken that day. I remember that. Thank you so much, Kavita. Hariraj sir, Advocate Hariraj sir.
Thank you. Being online has become the routine for every lawyer these days. Most of the courts are online, but it's a very pleasant change when it becomes an opportunity to come online and meet all the Toastmaster friends, Kavita, and all, Zina, everybody. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I think definitely I owe it to Larson for this. I don't know from
Nice
where.
to see the magician around.
Yes.
So I would prefer to be in person at Mangalore. But given this is the best available, we will take it like that.
You're most welcome, Hariraj. We are going to have our division meet soon, so we will all be inviting you. Okay. All right, we have Disha there.
So, hello everybody. I hope I'm audible. First of all, thank you so much to Lars. And I don't know how did he get my contact number, and he just said that there's this and we would want you to. So, thank you so much for the invite. The thing that brings me to Bangalore is the kind of learnings. I'm in search of newer things that Toastmaster has to offer, and now that I see 3 leaders in our three well-known leaders whom I met in DOTP. Now it would be nice to see him how they also act as a member of the club, as a ongoing participant of the meeting. So I'm sure there is a lot to learn, not just from leaders, but I believe that different places, different practices, it all holistically, adds a Toastmaster up. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to grow with everybody here. Thank you, Amit.
Thank you so much, Disha. A huge round of applause to the presence of all the district officers here today. We have any more guests today? Rushali, is it the second time that you are attending today? Rushali, would you like to put in a few words, please?
Yeah, hello. I'm attending for the second time today. It's good being here.
Thank you so much, Rushali. Welcome back. All right. So, have you all read the agenda today? What is the title all about? It's about the spark that is within you. I was wondering last 2 weeks back when Larson said, "Will you do the TMOD's role?" I was wondering, like, what should I do? What should I do? It's a long time that I've played the role of a TMOD, and then it's after me becoming the DTM, I have to give a TMOD's role. Now I need to do something special. I need to be my message as a TMOD should be something unique, something different. And I just Googled what topic to be spoken. And Google gave me 325 different topics what you can speak as a TMOD. Now there's another confusion there. All right. So I just went on, and it happened that I came across Chetan Bhagat's book, The Spark Within You. If you can recollect the book that is there in him, and then I would just like to quote from his book. It says, "As you grow older, you will realize you are unique. When you are little, all kids want ice cream, Superman, Spider-Man, somebody. As you grow older to college, you still are a lot like your own friends. But 10 years later, and you realize you are unique. What you want, what you believe in, what makes you feel may be different from even the people closest to you. This can create conflict as your goals may not match with others, and you may drop some of them. For example, I can say basketball captains in college invariably stop playing basketball by the time they reach out to certain, like, wedding time, or after wedding, having one kid or whatever, 2 kids. They give up something which was meant so much to them. They do it for their family. But in doing that, what happens? The spark within you dies. Never, ever compromise to it. Love yourself first and then others. This is what Chetan Bhagat says. And to some extent, I too agree with him. I've been thinking a lot about dreams lately. No, not the ones that you have in deep sleep, but the ones you have when you're wide awake. The ones where you picture yourself living in a different life, traveling, wandering in faraway places, meeting people you would never meet in your everyday day's humdrum life. The para what I read from Chetan Bhagat's book stands out because it reminds me to never let that spark within me die. The spark referred to in Bhagat's speech is that something that makes you excited and happy about life. That spark also has to do with someone's goals and dreams. Actually, I think most people are not doing what they really want to do in life. If you think the calculation, 9 out of 10 people I meet are not happy with their jobs. To most of us, a job is just a job. It's a means to meet the ends, a means to put food to your stomach, shelter over your head. What basically it's like roti kapda makan, right? In Hindi there is a saying, right? Isn't it? I mean, I could just be contented with doing what I'm doing now. I get a steady income, and I don't really hate what I'm doing. I mean, it's okay, but I'm just not feeling fulfilled. There's always this tiny voice saying inside me, surely there's something more in life than this. This can't be it, right? There's been a lot of self-reflection and self-questioning in the past few couple of months in my mind. I don't want to be one of those people who moan and moan but not do anything about situation. I've always been an action person. I don't sit around waiting for things to happen. Friends, sometimes you have to say that you are so lucky to have a job in Dubai. Okay, I had my friends. I mean, I'm a Dubai returned person. They always say, "Oh my God, you are from Dubai. So lucky that you are having a job in Dubai. I wish I could." To which I always used to answer like, "Well, even you can do that too. It's just that you are not willing to give up whatever you have and take that leap of faith." It's not very easy to leave one's comfort zone. And the only difference is that I dare to do so. I actively persuaded for what I wanted. So, friends, I just want you all to think about that particular aspect or particular spark that is missing in you in your life. Where is that spark today? Have you all lost in midst of your family, midst of your jobs, midst of your confusions? Think, if you have an intention, if you had planned of going climbing Himalayas, plan well ahead and do it. I have never had a motorbike license. I'm not saying this year's resolution, but I'm saying it's my dream to have a motorbike license. I drive without license, yes. I ride only from my home apartment gate up to that corner shop. I will take my bike and go where there are no cops, but not to the main road. But yes, my dream is to have a motorbike license. I have a four-wheel license, but yes, my dream. All the other dreams, what I wanted, I'm fulfilling one every year. DTM, yes, it happened. Before that, president, it happened. Before that, joining Toastmasters, yes, it happened. Just focus, 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 and work. It will happen. God created this earth in 7 days, so it is also told that for God, one day means 1,000 years. So friends, it's like you have to search for the lost spark within you. All right, enough of DTM yarn for today. I will, we will get back to the meeting. And in Inspiron, like how all the other clubs have, it's 3 sections. We have the prepared speeches, we have the table topic section, and we have the evaluation section. Each section, I would like to call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Shabana, to lead us with her tag team, what she has, tell us about what she's going to do and what her team is also going to do. So over to Shabana.
Thank you, DTM Amith Ananda, and congratulations to you.
Thank
and
you.
I'll wish you get the driving license very soon. My duty, I have 2 duties today. That is evaluating the whole meeting. I'll do it by observing how it went all from the first to the end. And my another duty is to lead the evaluation session that will be in the next half of the meeting. And for the first half, I will be evaluating the meeting. The meeting started 5 minutes late, but it was with a spark. Our own VP Education Toastmaster Larsen started the meeting. We will wish him a safe journey, safe reaching home. So I would want you all to give him a big round of applause. So duties can be done from anywhere. This is what we can learn from VP Education. And yes, as I said, there was a spark in the meeting and it's all going very well now. And now I'm going to call my team, which is where I have the timer, grammarian, and the accountant. So first I will call the timer, so that the timer has to lead the speakers. He or she has to note down the timings. So our timer for today's meeting is Toastmaster Zina. Toastmaster Zina, please.
Shabana, yeah,
Yes.
there was, since Zina is having a technical issue with sharing of the timer screens, the roles have been exchanged. Sorry, we have not informed you. Royal will be the timer and Zina will do the accounting.
Okay, so timer will be Toastmaster Royal.
Right.
So please explain your role, President Toastmaster Royal.
A very good evening, everyone, once again. So I'm the timer for today's meeting, and I will be sharing the screen for 1 second. I'll show you how I'll be sharing the timer cards. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So suppose if the speaker's timing is between 5 to 7 minutes, at 5 I will show green, and then yellow at 6, and at 7 red. And for table topic speakers, it is going to be 1 minute 30 seconds and 2 minutes, and for evaluation 2 minutes 30 seconds and 3 minutes. Over to our general evaluator, Shabana Zakir.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Royal. Now, my next task player is grammarian Toastmaster Sara. Toastmaster Sara, I would want you to explain your role. Please give her a big round of applause. Toastmaster Sara.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shabana. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and listen carefully to their language usage, as well as note down any misuses of the English language as well. Another responsibility is to give the word of the day. So keeping in mind the theme, the the spark within you, I have chosen the word of the day as ardor. ARDOUR. I will put it in the chat box. Ardor, meaning great enthusiasm or passion. An example of using the word could be they sang with real ardor, or do not let anyone dampen your ardor with negativity. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I will give my report when called upon to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sara. And my next role player is the counter Toastmaster Zina. Please give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Zina. Toastmaster Zina.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Today, my role as an accounter, I will be recording all the ums, you know. So, just to keep you informed that, just be aware of not to use too many hums and hums. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zina, for explaining your role. And as I have said, my one more duty is to lead the evaluation session. I would request the evaluators to follow the Toastmaster International method for evaluating the speakers. That is a sandwich method: come in, recommend, and then come in. So please follow the rules and evaluate the speakers and encourage them as much as you can. And now I would like to hand over the lectern back to DTM Amith Ananda. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shabana. That's our general evaluator, Shabana, for you all. Well, the first part, what we all are going to hear is 3 well-prepared speeches from speakers. Okay, sorry about that. Our first Toastmaster today who is going to speak is Toastmaster Pratiksha. I think Pratiksha is speaking all the way from Pune today, right? All right. And evaluating Toastmaster Pratiksha is a district officer, and she is a coach. She is a trainer. She's a storyteller. I will definitely sit with you and listen to the story one day. Yes. And she is C4 area director. But before that, she was the division director also. Please put your hands together and welcome the evaluator for Toastmaster Pratiksha, that is Toastmaster Kavita. Toastmaster Kavita, over to you. Please read the objectives for Toastmaster Pratiksha. Toastmaster Kavita. Toastmaster Kavita, over to you. Yes.
Yeah. Can you just repeat?
Yeah, I just wanted you to read out the objectives for Pratiksha.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry for this little preoccupation. I am attending 2 meetings parallelly and I had to focus a little over there.
Multitasking, Kavita.
Well, so today it's my pleasure to be evaluating Toastmaster Pratiksha, who is a little advanced in her levels of pathways. This is her level 3 speech project, and she has to persuade. Like when I was a little girl, I used to be persuaded by those bells that came on the street, and I would run out and see what kind of ice cream that person had got. And just that bell would persuade me to go for an ice cream in the summer vacation. Now you must have something very impelling that can persuade your audience, and that's what I would be looking at. Apart from this, you also have to possess a structure to your speech project, and within the same time as 5 to 7 minutes. I am looking forward to a good structure. It can be a timeline structure or the standard opening body conclusion structure. It could be anything. I'm just going to focus and listen to Pratiksha and enjoy the speech and come back to give my evaluation later. Over to you, Amit.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kavita. Kavita, I think Pratiksha is on her level 1 evaluation and feedback. Did you get the right evaluation request? Pratiksha, you had shared it with Kavita, is it?
Oh, okay.
Let me, I think I shared it with Larson. Let me just confirm once.
Yeah, this is for information.
Okay, fine. I'm
Small
sorry.
mix-up
I
there in
think
that case because is Asrita doing level 1?
Ashrita is on her level 3, I think, right?
Okay, fine. I got
no.
it, Amit. I'm sorry for that.
Asrita on level 3. I have got level 1 evaluation sheet.
Is that mine, Hariraj?
It is not stated who. It is an
No,
evaluation.
no. Ashrita is also doing level 1.
Yeah.
So Larson, I think I have not sent you the evaluation sheet. Should I send it right away? Maybe on the to Kavita?
Yeah, Pratiksha, no problem. I got your point. You're
yeah.
repeating your speech.
Correct.
With the feedback implemented, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it exactly.
Okay.
So I'm sorry for that little interruption, and I promise to focus here totally now. Well, so Pratiksha is attempting her revised speech. Well, I think this is the power of feedback that we're going to see. And I have got a couple of inputs about what her feedback that she got for the first speech. And I would also be observing if she has applied that feedback and if she has made those changes. Well, again, it's up to her to be able to make the changes candidly. And so I will be giving my evaluation at the end when I'm called back by the evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kavita. Pratiksha, you're ready?
Yes.
Okay, if you can pin the timer, that is Toastmaster Royal, if you want.
I'll be sharing my screen, so I feel it's
for the convenience of the speaker, if she can pin. All right. All right, here we go. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Pratiksha Balal. Biryani Tales. Toastmaster Pratiksha Balal. Over to you.
Thank you, and a very good evening to all the Toastmasters today and fellow guests. I am very glad to be back in my home club, I would say, because last week I attended a meeting with Backpackers Club in in Magarpatta City, Pune, and that was again interesting and a different perspective. So after a while, I'm really glad to be back. And please excuse me for my sore throat. It's not been doing well. So yes, today's speech or a story, let me begin that with a question. How many of you here love biryani? You can raise your hands, you can do anything. Great. So if we ask this question in Mangalore, I would say, we would not have a lot of raised hands, right? Because when I was growing up and when I finished my graduation in 2011, having biryani was a part of an occasional thing to do. Like, when you go to restaurants, just for a change of taste, we used to order biryani. And my knowledge of biryani was limited to the fact that it is an enhanced version of pulao with more flavors and spice. Until I met my husband, who is a true blue Telangana Bidda, for them, biryani is an emotion by itself. So if you ask the same question to them, their reaction would be either of bewilderment or they would really raise their eyebrows in disbelief, because for them, it's not an option at all. Biryani is love. So when we started going out for lunch or dinners, biryani became an integral part of the order. And I must agree, I had started enjoying the flavors of biryani too. But then I encountered a new challenge. Every time I had to order biryani, I had to order one for myself, and I couldn't I could rarely finish my own cup of biryani or a bowl of biryani because no one wanted to share vegetarian biryani. Now, come on, that is something I really don't understand about, non-vegetarians. They always feel vegetarians can't have a decent biryani or a decent dish that they can enjoy, But we do create a lot of delicacies with vegetables too, right? And biryani is no exception. But again, not all restaurants could actually prepare a very tasty veg biryani. And being a cooking enthusiast myself, that is when I decided I want to learn how to make veg biryani at home. And as we all would usually do in these days, like, DTM Amit also stated, I went to Google, search for a recipe, and followed the steps in the recipe with ardor and waited for the results. I must say the first attempt that I made, I was disappointed. And being the person who I am, I usually try to cook recipes too closer to perfection, and I'm a very good critique of my culinary skills. So my experiments with making biryani was not meeting my expectations. One day I was just sitting and then my best friend called and we were casually talking about a lot of things. And then she mentioned that they had a family gathering the previous day and she tried her brother's veg biryani recipe and she started boasting about how well it turned out to be, She also mentioned that few of her cousins said that was one of the best biryanis they had, veg biryanis, let me be specific, that they had tasted until date. Now, that particular piece of information caught my attention. So I asked my friend for the recipe and she explained to me in detail of what to do. And when she explained the recipe, at the end of it, I realized that there were no tomatoes in the list of ingredients and I was flabbergasted. Because as far as I know, tomatoes form an integral part of every gravy that we make, right? I mean, I'm very sure many of you agree here on that point. But she also mentioned to me that when we make authentic biryanis, it seems that they really don't use tomatoes. And that was a new piece of information for me. So, not for the biryani itself, but out of curiosity to know how the biryani would turn out without tomatoes in it, I planned and I started preparing for biryani the very next day. And I was so surprised to see how the veg biryani turned out after this whole, experiment of mine. The flavors were rich, the texture was right, and it tasted so good. And I cannot really begin to explain the sense of accomplishment that I had that day, So all thanks to my best friend, I could now include veg biryani as a part of my special, I can say, menu for special occasions. So I had found the perfect recipe for biryani that suits me without tomatoes in it. So as I end my story or speech today, I would like to emphasize on something that we all need to remember every now and then. There is no one special ingredient or special recipe in life that works for everyone, Of course, there are ingredients like tomatoes that work for a lot of people, or probably a lot of people choose tomatoes because it has worked for others. But when it doesn't, we should not give up, or we should not lose hope, or we should not put ourselves down. We should keep trying, and with guidance, with experience, and with experiments, we're all going to reach to that recipe or secret in life that works for us. Thank you and have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Pratiksha.
Thank
A
you.
huge round of applause. And definitely with so much ardor that you have described how you have made biryani. And definitely it has created a new ardor in me. For tomorrow, I need to make biryani now. All right.
Yeah.
I have history with biryani here in Inspiron, okay? I was the one who came in with a speech about history of biryani for one of my CC speech. I think so it was my CC speech. And I made biryani and I brought to the club. And we all had biryani by the end. So I hope in the coming few days when you come back from Pune and when we have meeting in person, definitely we want to taste your veg biryani.
Sure.
All right. All right. But for the history of, because I had learned history, biryani is one of the unique dish which is made actually for the soldiers. So it's a food filled with nutrition. So people who are starving definitely go and try out biryani.
Okay.
All right. Now you have made me hungry, Pratiksha. All right. Thank you so much. Wonderful speech over there. All right. Our second speaker today is, okay, what happens when you eat too much and you don't brush? Okay, you might spoil your tooth. So we have in our midst a dentist who's going to speak, and she is none other than Dr. Ashrita, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Hariraj. Toastmaster Hariraj is also my colleague, a district officer from K2, and he is also the president of Matru Malayalam Club, and he is a magician, he is a photographer, he is a writer, he is a traveler, and he is also a bibliophile. And we have seen the magic back in our 2 days program, what we had in our district officers training program. Fantastic magician you are, Hariraj. I still, you know, the way you remembered the name of that particular the word that was there in that book, it's still, you know, it goes around in my mind. How did you find out? How did you find out? All right. Isn't it, Disha and Kavita? I think you both have experienced that, you know. All right. So our over to Hariraj, and you can please describe the objectives for Ashrita.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Amit. My speaker today is attempting her first speech in level 2 of, level 1, second project, first speech. The object of this particular speech would be to present a speech, receive the feedback, and implement the feedback in the next speech. So all the best, Ashrita. This is the way we grow. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hariraj. All right, Ashrita, you're ready? Have you pinned the timer? Royal is the timer. All right.
Amit, 1 minute. May I know the time for the speaker?
5, 6, and 7.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
All right. Toastmaster Ashrita, the collector, Toastmaster Ashrita.
One morning, I woke up from bed. I put on my glasses from my glass box, which read, "This is going to, your face is going to love these glasses. This is going to look good on you." Well, that particular thought brightened my day. So the next day I thought, every step I walk into in my house, I'll put some captions which is going to brighten my year. Well, having a cup of coffee later on, I just thought like, how would be my day today? Since we were on and off lockdowns, it was more important for me to motivate myself or self-motivate myself. I picked up the newspaper as usual. There was nothing motivating in it. So I just put it back on the table and moved to my mobile. I scrolled a few of my groups which sent a few birthday wishes to the birthday baby of that day. Some of them had condolence messages. Some of them had also teamed up with few other groups and then come up with a few other homeopathic medicines for COVID. So just brushing through all of the groups, I came across my college group, which read Rebels. So why Rebels is because back in college, none of us were rebellious. So we named the group Rebels so that it's going to inspire us more to be more rebellious in attaining our aim or ambition in life. How ironic is that? So as I scroll down, I just came across one message. I make it a point to read motivational messages in the morning so that that's going to be a fuel for my whole day. Well, I just logged on, or I just clicked on one particular message, which read, "The collector from Malappuram district, Srimati Rani Soyamoy." I was like, let me see what story is this. Of course, some of the motivational messages on WhatsApp is going to run for a mile or it's going to be pages together. But I thought, let me just go through this whole message for once. I just scrolled down and down and down and down, but I just thought, okay, this must be something masaledar. Let me read about it. So the scene was as such. Srimati Rani Soimai was from Jharkhand and she had to address a group of college students. So before she was about to make her speech, most of the front benchers were discussing on the front bench, oh, why is madam come so simple, without any jewelry, without any makeup? Is she all right? And there was a lot of people, you know how kids talk. So a lot of people talking about such a big collector, but such a simpleton. Such a person of simplicity. So as she spoke to the crowd, she just pointed out at one girl and said, "Child, you seem to be very distracting today. What is it? Please ask me your question. Don't hesitate to ask questions because that is how you can bring out the spark in you." Well, the child didn't hesitate. She stood up and she asked, "Ma'am, why is that you're not wearing any makeup? Well, we see all the people who are our teachers, our chief guests, everybody with makeup and jewelry. But why is that we see no makeup on your face?" Well, Rani Soimoy looked at the child and said, "Well, I can't answer this in one word. Let me just tell you a story, and this probably you will find an answer in it." There was this girl who was born in Jharkhand to the parents who couldn't get 2 square meals to their children because they had 5 of them. So Rani Soimol, I don't know whether most of you all have heard about her story, but she had 2 brothers above her and 1 sister below. So she was in between. 4 children. So as she started explaining the story to the child, little drops of sweat came down her forehead. And she just couldn't swallow that huge piece of lump here. It was so difficult for her to tell the story. She looked up at the children and said, "This story is really going to motivate you all. Back then, my parents used to work in the mica mines. They used to go deep down every other day. And if they worked for one whole day, they would definitely get probably 2 square meals a day, which was 2 loaves of bread and coffee. Later on, because of this, brothers have also got to pitch in and gain that momentum for the family all along the year. Rani Soimoy further paused for a while and said, "I lost my brothers early in life. It was due to mica poisoning. And I lost my parents when I was just 4. So after losing everything, literally, she had nothing to lose more. So this beautiful lady went out in the mica mines at the age of 5 because it was easier for kids to crawl down the mica mines and get the mica ore. That was the most path-breaking story I have heard. I could really feel uh, the pain in her voice when I read that story. And as the story opened up even more, I realized that because of this, she had developed mica poisoning. But as she had lost everything in life, the district had put her in, in an ashram. So it was there in the ashram where Rani Soimoi developed the spark in her to study. And today you can see that she is the collector of Malappuram. Isn't the story worth listening? I just read the story in that day in the morning. And believe me, I had planned a few things for that day and it did happen. Well, I had to finish few assignments at work. I did finish at the end of the day. But reading such motivating stories are going to motivate you. So the answer to this question what the child asked was mica is used in your makeup. Mica is used in lipstick. So that is the reason I'm not wearing any jewelry. I'm not wearing any makeup because I know the pain what goes through each person who gets mica ore from these mines. That is something we need to ponder. We need to send a message to stop child labor and also to stop wearing makeup, but that is not going to happen. So let's at least stop child labor. Thank you. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashrita. A big round of applause to her for enlightening us about the mica poisoning and also to caution us about using makeups from probably like non-branded items. All right. So, I mean, I can testify over here when I was back in those days when I was in Dubai in a chemical testing laboratory. We were a third-party testing laboratory, and we had plenty of the makeup, the lipsticks, and the what do you call the mascara and all that. They used to come to our lab for testing heavy metals like mercury and lead and arsenic. You know, you find so many different colors, but these colors are all from heavy metals. And people, I don't want to mention the countries from which these makeups come from. You all will know, but please, ladies, and probably now even gentlemen, please be careful in whatever you're putting onto your face. All right. With that, we come to our third speaker for today. That is our very own Toastmaster Jacob Koshi sir. Jacob Koshi sir will be evaluated by another district officer, a friend of ours, that is Toastmaster Disha. She is E3 area director and president of Wordsworth Toastmasters, and she is happiness coach. I would like to sit with you for this, all right? And she's also an academic consultant. Over to Toastmaster Disha. Please read out the objectives for Toastmaster Jacob.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. And in particular, my speaker for today, Toastmaster Jacob. So Toastmaster Jacob would be attempting his icebreaker speech. Timer, please note the time is from 4 to 6 minutes. And the objective of his speech is to introduce himself to the club, which we are a member of the club. So I'm sure all of us, but let's see in what different ways can he introduce himself and also learn the basic structure of public speaking. So all the very best to Toastmaster Jacob, and back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amith. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Disha. All right, Jacob sir, you're ready. Have you pinned the timer? All right, thank you so much. Toastmaster Jacob Koshi, inherited and acquired. Inherited and acquired, Toastmaster Jacob Koshi.
Am I the same as I was 40 years back? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, a very good evening to all of you. Definitely not. I have changed. We are all born with inherent or inherited qualities. Our genes describe our personality when we are young and maybe during the teenage years. But as we grow, we observe our environment and started adapting with that, especially when we are in the 20s. When we face the hard realities of life, we start changing ourselves and start growing with those changes. So I too delved into my past. One by one, each instance of my past unfolded before me. I pondered over each one of them and asked myself one question. Was there any drastic change as I grew older? I found many, but let me tell you about one important change. But before that, I had to tell something about myself. I was born into a large family of 7 sisters and 2 brothers, me being the 7th. Now all are above 60 or 70. My father was a maths professor, my mother a housewife, a typical middle-class family. My first major achievement in life came at the age of 10, when I topped the Chinese school's entrance exam. The governor of Kerala invited me to his office. That time the governor was V.V. Giri. He later became the president of India. And my father took me to the governor's office. But digressing slightly, at the age of 5, I had the uncanny ability to tell the day of a date within a second. Like someone asked me, what day is 17 January 1955? Answer was instant, Monday. So this ability was presented to the governor by my father. So governor brought some old calendars and started asking me days or some dates. I answered all of them immediately. He was very pleased and congratulated me. But now, if somebody asks me the day of a date, I'll say, please Google it. Even at my academic level, I was very good. I got a lot of merit scholarship in university and institute level. And I was excellent in sports, especially in basketball and hockey. So all were going good. And immediately after my graduation, I got a well-paying job, then moved to Air India. So everything was going on. But as I grew up, I noticed something was absolutely wrong with me. What was wrong with me? Let me explain it through a quote from Isaac Asimov, a science fiction writer. The quote goes like this. Your assumptions are windows on the world. Scrub them off once in a while. Otherwise, light will not reach you. Yes, my dear Toastmasters, I was hesitant to voice my opinions or my views. My assumptions, opinions were the windows to the world. I kept them shut. So my opinions never reached anyone. I think all of you must have experienced such a feeling when we are growing up. What will others say about me? Will they laugh at me? Will they mock at me? But now when I look back or retrace my steps, I find them all frivolous reasons or silly reasons. Now even young children, they are so bold to share their opinions on social media. I feel I should have done that in the past, but anyway, can't get back the past. But when did I realize this change? This realization came to me when I moved from Mumbai to Bahrain. I left to Bahrain in somewhere in 80s. As soon as I landed in Bahrain, I soon realized I can't be a mute spectator here. It was a forced change from a public sector environment into a completely new environment. I had to express my opinions or be sidelined. Competitive office environment, office politics, building up a new social circle with new friends. These are some of my challenges. I had to abandon the gene of hesitancy and acquire the gene of boldness. So slowly and steadily, with a lot of ardor, I grew up dealing with difficult clients, convincing them, and building a new social circle. These are all, I soon started acquiring that. And I found a platform in Indian associations, Indian clubs, and of course, later in Toastmaster clubs. I can confidently say now, I made myself visible in Bahrain. I call that my karma bhumi. I stayed in Bahrain for almost 35 years. In that karma bhumi, Asimov's words came true for me. I never shut the windows again. I learned to boldly express my views and opinions in any forum. That gene of boldness is still helping me in life. So, my dear Toastmasters, express yourselves. Let your ideas flow into the world. But before I end, I want to tell about one instance where my inborn gene of hesitancy failed me. Very long back, I met my former girlfriend at a cafe. She was happily married. Seeing me single, she was really surprised. So she asked me, how come you're still single? So I replied, I was waiting for you. So she replied, even I waited for you, but you never expressed your feelings of affection towards me. How will I know? So remember, Toastmasters, don't hold back. Move forward boldly. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jacob. A big round of applause to him. And definitely we will look into those points, what now Jacob sir has told us. All right, with that, we come to the end of the prepared speech section. All right. Timer, if I may please ask you to read out the time taken by the three speakers.
Good evening, everyone, once again. Time taken by Toastmaster Pratiksha is 6 minutes 35 seconds. Toastmaster Ashrita is 8 minutes 6 seconds. And Toastmaster Jacob Koshi is 6 minutes 28 seconds.
All right.
So technically, Pratiksha and Jacob are qualified. Ashrita, it's TMOD is called.
The time limit was 5, 6, and 7, right?
Yes.
All right. It is the DTM Amith, the Toastmaster of the day's decision, that she qualifies. All right. It's the Toastmasters Day decision. All right. Thank you so much. All right. The voting links will be shared at the end once we finish the table topic and the evaluation. So I'll share the link on the chat on the screen. All right. So moving on to the second section, we have the table topic section, and we have Toastmaster Kaushal to carry on with the table topics. All right, Kaushal, are you ready?
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Amith. I'm about to bring you the most interesting part of this Toastmaster session, that is table topic session. The main aim of table topic session is to improve your impromptu speech and make you think on your feet. The usually speeches will be 1 to 2 minutes. And I have prepared few fun topics and I can't wait to share them with you. Anyone would like to volunteer?
Roshali?
Yeah, okay, I'll do.
All right. Yes,
One sec. Yeah, sorry for that. If you were a dog, what breed you would be?
Okay. I don't know many breeds of the dog, but the one with the huge fur and very chubby one, cute one, so that everybody would pet me, and I would be pampered a lot. That's it, I guess. I don't know what to say further because you just asked one question, right? What breed I would be. That's it.
You can go on talking if you want about the dog.
I don't know. Sorry. That's it.
Toastmaster Kavita wanted to speak.
Okay. Yeah. What is the best prank you played on someone, Toastmaster Kavita?
Okay. Kaushal, are you a mind reader? Or do you know my history? I don't think that appears on Google search when you look about me that I am a prankster. Well, you caught me there red-handed. I am mostly known for being very naughty and pulling people's legs. In fact, I love Toastmasters for the very same reason. At my club, we have a lot of young people and I am mostly pulling their legs, especially because that helps them to come out of their shyness and inhibitions. It's not just about pranking and pulling their legs. I also encourage them and give them inputs on how they could have done things in a better way, in a very, very funny, sarcastic way. So there are some people in my club, the moment they finish their role, they call me up and ask, Kavita ma'am, how did I do today? So I will have a couple of funny remarks to cheer them up and also an appreciation for what they did. One of the pranks that I remembered was, it was good old times of online, not online training, but in-person trainings. So we were all having lunch during one of my training session. It was at the pantry of a big corporate. So one of my friend had worn a very beautiful sari and she was very, very conscious of it. She actually wanted everyone to compliment her that, oh, Shashi, your sari is looking so good. You're looking damn gorgeous and all that. So we did all those compliment things. But in the last, I just tied her pallu to the chair. And when she got up to wash her hand, keep guessing what happened. Over to Kaushal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita. Anyone would like to go next?
Okay, I'll go. I'm ready.
Okay. If you were a WWE wrestler, what would be your theme song?
What is it?
Theme
song.
song.
A doubler.
WWE wrestler.
Okay.
WWE.
Okay.
What would be your theme song?
Table topic master and fellow Toastmaster. Again, very good evening to all of you. I started watching this WD in when I was in Bahrain. I used to go to a friend's house and he used to always put this WWE. And soon I slowly got interested in that. I mean, that time it was, who were all there? I don't remember, but all funny characters were there. Initially, I was thinking they were all very, I mean, they are really doing it. Then I came to know it is mostly entertainment plus wrestling. So some were stage factor. Now your question was, I'll be a doubler. I mean, I didn't get it. Anyway, I enjoyed watching this WWE for a very long time. Especially, I like that fellow. What was he? Anyway, later this fellow came. What is this? Rock. And he was very good at, and people loved him, maybe because of his behavior. There are some people who are being hated. So they always had some people who will be hated and some people who will be loved and some extras for that. So pure entertainment. So I enjoyed all these things, and back to the table talking master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas. Anyone would like to go next?
Disha.
Disha. Okay. What if you could hang out with one cartoon character? What would be it?
If I could hang out with any cartoon character, that would be my all-time favorite. Somebody who has everything which I do not have, Richie Rich. Now imagine in a world where all of us are struggling to make, our ends meet, to make sure that we have enough money to fulfill all our dreams, I would want to hang out with Richie Rich. Imagine the amount of money he has. I mean, right from his utensil to everything that he uses. He's just not born in a silver plate, but I think a gold plate, and not even gold, but platinum. Imagine the amount of money he has. Everywhere he goes, he has a cook called his Cadbury. Imagine you do not have any, there is no lack of money. There's no lack of food. Whatever he wants to eat in the world, Cadbury has his, personal chef making sure that he gets whatever he wants to eat. What else would anybody want? Good food, lots of money, and a very lavish house to live in. So if I would want to hang out with any cartoon character, it would be Richie Rich. And plus the benefit, we all say, we should associate ourselves with a better brand. And what better cartoon character to associate yourself than Richie Rich? The name says it all. Over to the table topic master, Toastmaster Kaushal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. I think most of us wouldn't disagree. Going next, who would like to?
Kaushal, I can go next. But please don't give weird topics, okay?
I think all of them are weird. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give normal one. What is your favorite way to waste time on internet?
Okay. My favorite way to waste time, I think anyone's favorite to waste time on internet would be to open Instagram, start with one reel, and then you keep getting suggestions over and over again, starting from beauty tips to celebrities walking with the kind of clothes they wear, with the hat they wear, and all of them. Everyone seems to be enjoying and traveling everywhere in the world except us, because we are lying on the bed, opening Instagram and going through their reels. So yes, definitely, if you want to waste time on the internet, for me, it's always, I shouldn't be doing it, but sometimes I still end up doing it, opening Instagram and going through the reels. Thank you. Back to you, Kaushal, Toastmaster Kaushal.
Thank you, Pratiksha. I guess everyone has that similar experience. Anyone else take one of the weird topics I am going to give? Okay, I guess I'll pick one from whoever is not watching the, not displaying the screen. Sarah, would you like to go?
Oh, I am a little scared when it comes to table topics, so I wouldn't like to try.
No issue. It's not big deal. It's just some few people having fun.
Okay, I could try. I'm gonna embarrass myself, but
okay.
Yeah, sure.
What is the fictional place which you would like to visit? Fictional place in the sense Middle Earth, or the place which doesn't exist in the Earth, which you would like to visit?
When it comes to fictional places, I love reading. I read like 1 or 2 books in a week. So it's very interesting for me to read about all these fictional places, people that don't exist, places that don't exist. Everything interests me than things that actually do. So when I was younger, I was reading Peter Pan, and that is something that has always interested me. I always wanted to go to the Neverland. So I've always found it very fascinating to think about the Neverland, and very different from what one would see in their everyday lives. So that is my fascination to probably go over there. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarah. I think you need not worry about taking table topics. And the last, who would like to go?
Zina, would you want to try? Zina? Zina?
Yes, Amit?
One table topic for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I hope it's easier.
Yeah, it's quite easy actually. What if you had to rename yourself? What would be that name?
Okay, that's easy. Thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and friends. Oh, well, if I have to rename myself, I would have renamed myself as Xenia, because my name itself is Xena, which means a flower. So, Xenia is another flower, but the pronunciation and the spelling is slightly different. So, people will not get, it will not complicate, and even pronunciation will be easy for everyone. So that is the reason I would like to keep myself as Xenia. And some of the people in Bombay and other places, they address me as Xenia only. They never call me Xena, some of my friends. That is the reason I wish I could change my name to Xenia instead of Xena. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zina. Now we have already have alias. We can call you Xenia also. That concludes the table topic session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kaushal, for that weirdo topic round of table topics. Huge round of applause to all of you. All right. With that, we finish the second part, and I would request Royal to share the timers report.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, it was a very fun table topic session. So the time taken by Rushali is 1 minute 2 seconds. Kavita, Toastmaster Kavita is 2 minutes 16 seconds. Jacob sir is 1 minute 7 seconds. Toastmaster Disha is 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Pratiksha is 45 seconds. Toastmaster Sarah is 35 seconds. And Toastmaster Zina is 50 seconds.
All right. So the voting links will be shared after we finish the evaluation round. So we have come to the final section, that is the general evaluation and the evaluation section. So this section will be taken by our general evaluator for today, that is Toastmaster Shabana. Toastmaster Shabana, over to you for the evaluation section.
Thank you, DTM Amith Ananda. So straight away, I'll start the evaluation session. That is we had 3 speakers today, and our first speaker was Toastmaster Pratiksha. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kavita. Toastmaster Kavita, please welcome Toastmaster Kavita. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shabana. Well, so Pratiksha, I hope you're there.
Yes.
Okay, great. It was a pleasure watching you. I sat back and totally enjoyed and felt very hungry right in the middle of your speech. But that did not make me lose concentration till the end of your speech. The power of biryani. Well, I was reminded of one of the video episodes that I watched called Curly Tales. She simply goes to different restaurants and meets celebrities there and enjoys all the fantastic dishes served in that particular restaurant. Maybe you should do a video blog and go to different restaurants and try out doing food blogging. It will be great to listen to you because you are such an amazing person talking about your own personal experience, your tryst with biryani experiences. You had a very beautiful flavor of bringing in another language because I am a Telugu person. I caught that word and that phrase, Telangana Bidda. It usually is Telugu Bidda. Yes, Andhra people can relate to Hyderabad Paradise Biryani a lot. That is life for them. And I think that was a very good reference that you brought because that gave the turnaround to your perspective of biryani being an enhanced palau. What's great about it? To, wow, biryani, I have to order it every time I go to a restaurant. I think this shift was brought out very beautifully. Another thing that I liked in your speech was also about how you explored different facets of biryani and also tried out from someone's reference that without a tomato, even the biryani will come out well. So I think that was a very good, beautiful way that you led to the profound message towards the end. And I think that made your speech go to the next level because it had that message. Without one ingredient, you can still go ahead with life. Nothing is indispensable. I was also thinking of something very, very profound at that time. Even if I die, the world will still move on. Usme kya hai? Right? So you made me think to a different level, actually. It was your thought process that set me off into that mode. I would like you to improve on two different things. One is, in the beginning, you mentioned something that was not relevant to your speech. And that was about visiting the Pune Toastmasters. And the second one was an apology, that you have a sore throat. Instead of that, you can go straight to your speech, because that kind of brings down, it dampens the enthusiasm of the audience. They are waiting because biryani tales is an amazing topic and we were waiting to hear to what you wanted to say. And these things came as a dampener, right? So cut down that and then straight away get into the speech. And the second thing that I want you to do is probably you can try out and try some hand gestures. Since this is your repetition speech, that would really bring in, because biryani has a lot of things that you can talk about, the aroma, the tomato that you discard or whatever. You can bring in so many things with hand gestures that would add a lot of value to your speech. So I think you have applied the feedback that was given prior, and it has come out well. So this is to take your speech to the next level. All the best, Pratiksha. It was great watching you. Thank you so much for that entertaining biryani tale. Looking forward to your video blog.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita. Toastmaster Kavita, my plan was to evaluate the evaluator one by one, but listening to biryani so much, now I have planned for biryani tomorrow. I was just thinking what ingredients are missing in the refrigerator so that I'll get them tomorrow and I'll go for a biryani. So a wonderful evaluation. Thank you. And for encouraging me for preparing biryani tomorrow. I welcome you all Toastmasters. Please have lunch at my place tomorrow. So the next speaker was Toastmaster Ashrita. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Advocate Hariraj Madhav. So please welcome Toastmaster Advocate Hariraj Madhav. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Shabana. Toastmasters, my dear friends. My speaker today took on the topic with great ardor. The very title was very intriguing. Collector. I was just wondering what is she going to speak about. I was honestly expecting something relating to some kind of collectibles. But no, the real collector. The suspense was actually maintained even in the opening. She woke up, comfortably took the specs and put it on her. I even like that because the excuse to use a prop in a presentation is very hard to find. Now I know what is to be done. I also have one, never did that. Excellent. Beautiful presentation throughout. Excellent speech. Very solid takeaway. Beautiful message. Very important one at that. I found that the time has overshot a little bit. Actually, I did not feel that when the speech was going on. I found it from the report of the timer. I would only say when the time overshoots in a Toastmaster speech, it indicates that a bit of preparation and a bit of practice more would help us. Then I thought back and I was wondering if the opening should have been that long. We could have come to the mobile phone, we could have come to the subject straight away a little more faster. We would have saved time over. And I would have honestly loved if there was a little more voice modulation. You had a lot of characters in your story. You had the student, you had the collector, so many. When the student speaks, it could be one sound. And when the collector speaks, it could be another. When the collector calls upon the students to ask a question, it could be in one sound. And when the collector speaks about her difficult childhood, it could be another. If we can add a little bit of imagination into these emotional moments in the story, the message is so very enhanced and your speech becomes so much stronger. And when we try to convey a message, an inspiring message, it will be more convincing if we can somewhere connect it to ourselves, our lives, how the message changed you, how you started checking on the brands of cosmetics to see whether they are using mica from Jharkhand or something like that. And of course, one word of caution, this Rani Soi Moi is a non-existing person. There is no such officer anywhere in India who is an IAS officer. That particular message that's going on in WhatsApp is actually a plagiarized version of a Malayalam short story, which has inspired me way back. It is written by a friend of mine called Hakim Mariyur. That is how I know it. Okay. The title of the story is Tilangunda Mukhangal, that is glittering faces. Rani Moi Soi is actually a character created by him. But we all believe that there is such a IAS officer. But yes, hopefully one day from Jharkhand, we will find a mica poisoned girl finding some means of reaching the IAS. This particular racket is a reality. This child exploitation is a reality. The mica poisoning is a reality. The message you have given is of momentous importance. And we all come here to learn how to speak. Today, you inspire us on also the question, why to speak? We should speak because we should become voice of such voiceless. Hats off to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Advocate Hariraj Madhav. And our next and the third speaker was today Toastmaster Jacob Koshi. He will be evaluated by Toastmaster Disha. Toastmaster Disha.
Thank you so much,
Toastmaster Disha.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shabana. Good evening, everybody, and in particular, my speaker, Toastmaster Jacob, sir. So keeping in mind that you are a senior Toastmaster, my evaluation will be based upon the experience that you have had in Toastmasters. So like any other framework, my framework would also be divided into commendation, recommendation, and then commendation. To talk about a speech, the topic for today, the spark within. While everybody has a spark, you have a huge bundle of sparkle within you, because the kind of energy that you started with your speech with, I mean, as soon as you started, am I the same I was 40 years back? I mean, you had all our attention, you grabbed all the eyeballs. Wonderful work done that, because majorly I have seen that people started on a very moderate note, but you have started the speech on a very high energetic note, which is a very good quality to gain the traction. Wonderful work done on that. Second thing, you have a very expressive face. So throughout your speech, wherein there were different emotions that you were having, when you were having conflict with yourself, that could be seen very clearly, which again helps you deal with audience on a very personal one-to-one basis. Again, the kind of examples that you've had more than one ways, and I'm sure about it. To talk about the commendations, I feel that there were certain places in your speech wherein you could use the power of pauses. So for example, and I really loved the way how you close the loop. You started with a saying, your assumptions are like, you need to clean your windows of assumption, and then in the end you turned it back. This is how I have done. So that is again a very good quality of a world champion. That is what I have learned. So wonderful work done on that. To talk about the four in your speech, again the framework that I have been using, which is AIDA, which is attention, interest, desire, and call to action. Again, with the kind of energy that you started with your speech, we all had your attention. The interest, because the title and the title of the theme for today and your speech, had like an amalgamation. So we all were interested to know, okay, what is going to happen next. Desire, you all, your speech had a message which said that, it is very important for us to rub our assumption and actually go and do things without having like too much of thought process or hesitance. So wonderful work done on that. And last but not the least, it had call to action. That is another very important thing in a particular speech. So wonderful work done on that. A little challenge that I would want to give is towards the end of your speech, I think there were some disruptions in your, in the flow of the speech. So if that disruptions could be managed, I think it could have gone to a very high notch. But in all, wonderful is more and more on your voice quality and the vocal variety. That is it from my part. All the very best and congratulations for completing your speech. Back to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Shabana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. We had three beautiful and wonderful evaluators today. One suggestion I would like to give for the evaluators is the contest evaluation is a slight different. I will not say totally different. Here, when we are following the pathways and the evaluators have a format to follow the speech. There is a purpose statements and evaluators are given the norms to follow. So it is better because for the evaluators to follow that and evaluate. And because when the speaker is preparing the speech, he or she will be looking at the purpose of the speech plus the evaluators norms there and preparing the speech. So this is a practice, whatever we are doing, all these features of the pathways. That was one thing. And I agree that speakers bring out very arduous topics and they speak on that. We will be intrigued and engrossed in all those things. Like I would like to highlight one thing where Toastmaster Advocate Hariraj Madhav, he gave the information that about what was her name, suing someone that was a fictional character, something like that. So this can be discussed later. You can tell it later, not during the evaluation. So it is the speaker who has spoken. So let's not discuss on about the speech. It is, we are evaluating the speech, how the speaker has delivered the speech. This was my suggestion to the evaluators. And next, I would like to call now the grammarian. Our grammarian is Toastmaster Sara. Toastmaster Sara, please give your grammarian report. Over to you, Sara.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shabana. Good evening, everyone. I came across excellent usage of language today. Toastmaster Royal, you said, sail the ship through the storm, and you used the phrase burning story within you. This was very excellent. DTM Amith Ananda, you quoted Chetan Bhagat, and you also used the phrase leap of faith. Toastmaster Pratiksha, you used true blue, cooking enthusiast, and the word flabbergasted. Toastmaster Ashrita, your whole speech itself was had excellent usage of facts. So I would say that the whole speech was amazing in terms of grammar. Toastmaster Jacob, you used the phrase inherent or inherited. This was a nice play on words. And dwell into my past and the word uncanny. And Toastmaster Disha, you used the word you used the phrase power of pauses. A few errors that I would like to talk about. When you say you have to say, you don't have to say you have to say that. Like when you are following it with a quote, you don't have to say you have to say that. You can just say you have to say and mention the quote. Similarly, when you say you have to mention, you mention that. The that is not necessary. And instead of first to end, you can say either first to last or start to end. Similarly, the pronunciation of QUESTION is question. When we say one of the unique, and we continue it with a noun, we say one of the unique dishes, and we do not say one of the unique dish. So when we use the phrase one of the, we continue it with a plural noun. Similarly, when we say one of my training session, we would rather say one of my training sessions and not one of my training session. I came across a lot of speakers using the word of the day, Toastmaster Pratiksha and DTM Amith Ananda. In case I missed out on anyone, I'm sorry. But thank you, everyone. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarah, for your grammarian report. Now I would like to call the timer Toastmaster President Royal. Please read out the timings for the evaluators.
Yeah, actually during Toastmaster Kavita's evaluation, I had some network issues. So it was about 3 minutes. That's what I can say. Toastmaster Hari Raj, it's 3 minutes 55 seconds, and Toastmaster Disha, it is 3 minutes 15 seconds.
So all are qualified? Are they qualified? Yes.
Technically, Hari Raj is not qualified if I'm not wrong. But I guess our TMOD is
lenient.
So all are qualified.
All are qualified today.
Okay. So thank you, timer President Toastmaster Royal. Now I would like to go on with my observations for the meeting. We had 3 marvelous speeches filled with spark and ardor. They brought in good topics. I hope we all enjoyed those topics. So it was good. And table topic master, Toastmaster Kaushal, you had wonderful topics which before they started talking, all the speakers had smile on their face. It was really good. And we were entertained with your session. And last but not the least, yes, of course, we had a good meeting. And yes, though DTM Amith Ananda, you were lenient with the overshooting of time, but still I would say that next time, let the speakers keep in mind to prepare the speeches within the time limit. So back to you, TMOD, DTM Toastmaster Amith Ananda.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Shabana, for a detailed report. And thank you very much for all the points of improvement that you have asked us to follow. I think the President and the VP Education will duly make note of it. To the information of the members who have gathered here, I have shared the voting links, and if you all may please cast your votes. I have received only 8 votes, so the remaining 9. Okay, I'll just wait for another 30 seconds. So cast your votes, please. Well, while I'm calculating the votes, I would like to thank the VP Education for having me as the Toastmaster of the day. And thank you very much for you all, the speakers and the table topic master, the role takers, for having a wonderful session. I enjoyed the meeting, for being the host for today. Over to the President.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, it was a fun-filled meeting, and I would like to thank all the guests from other clubs who have joined us. And I would love to listen from them, their experiences, their observations about this meeting. So who would like to go first? Isha, would you like to share something?
Okay, so one thing that I had come to Mangalore for is in search of learning, and I definitely saw a lot of learning in today's like the entire session. I really like the way, different people, different perspective, and I really loved the theme for today. And everybody had someone to say, something to say. And yes, I really loved the energy and the motivation that everybody has for table topics. So usually in our club, people are fearing table topics, but I really love the way, how the guests and the members were eagerly waiting for table topics. Wonderful work done. Just a small suggestion that even my club is working on is the time factor, because we all know it's like a social and in a social gathering and everything. So if we stick a little bit to the time, to the agenda which is provided, I think that would give, take club to the next notch. But in all, wonderful thing, and I really enjoyed the entire meeting today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Disha. Definitely we will take your suggestions. So Kavita or Hariraj, would you like to share your experience in this club?
After you, Kavita.
Thank you, Hari. Okay. So it was actually great. Initially, I was a little preoccupied, but then once I focused on this, I thoroughly enjoyed, and that's why I wanted to take that opportunity for table topics as well. I think the topic master was a magician, spinning up such wonderful topics there. Kudos to him. I think he is a novice, but the way he conducted himself and interacted with the audience, I think I appreciate him a lot. Thank you so much for inviting me, Larson and Royal.
Yes. Toastmaster Hariraj.
Once again, thanks to Larson for this wonderful opportunity. I still wonder how he found my contact and picked me up, for what reason.
You're part of so many WhatsApp groups, Hari.
Hari, it's magic. Now you find out how we got in.
Now I know.
There's a VPN with the DC members group.
I will not
right?
tell, Amit, but now I understand. Now I
And then
suddenly
there
got a
is
vibe.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Hats off to the Club XCOM, beautifully organized meeting. True, I was myself a little bit late, so I did not feel the meeting starting off late. I did not notice that. But overall, beautifully conducted, lot of energy and a lot of takeaways. I have been learning so much from this club. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Hariraj. Sarah, would you like to share something quick?
Yeah, sure. I really liked being a part of this meeting. I like the speeches, the prepared as well as the table topics. It was very interesting to listen to. And it's always nice being a part of Inspiron, of your meetings. It's like a well-knit group. It's like a family. So thank you for asking me to be your grammarian.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us. So the results are out. So the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Jacob. The best topics, table topics goes to Toastmaster Disha. And evaluator, there is a tie between Hariraj and Disha. So congratulations to all the winners. And for certificates, a link will be sent to you in WhatsApp. And once you enter your name and like for example, name and the best speaker, automatically it will be emailed to you. Okay. So I think that's it from our side for today's meeting. And thank you so much for everyone for joining us. And I would like to remind each and every one of you, it's a contest season, it's a crash course, and do prepare for your speeches, evaluation, table topics, and it's your responsibility. It's not a choice, it's your responsibility, because every one of you have a burning story which will impact someone's life, right? So today, for example, the biryani impacted our life, and perhaps most of us will be craving for biryani for a couple of days. and a wonderful message from Ashrita as well. So thank you so much for each and every one of you joining. So we'll catch up soon sometimes. So I adjourn the meeting.